In this video, we take a look at what's going to be our game of the quarter and a contender for game of the year. Get your hiking boots on as we play Cross the Stream. Hello everyone, I'm Rob Carroll from Front Range Physical Education. Living on the Front Range, hiking in the outdoors is a way of life. Today's game represents just that. And it's also a way for your students to play a game with a little bit of a dodgeball flair. So let's get going. First thing I like to do is I like to gather the students at the end line and do a little storytelling. We use the volleyball lines, dark green lines. I say anything inside this is the river. And I'll act like I'm drowning in the river and I'll jump on one of the mats real quick and say, these mats are logs that are floating in the river. They're safe. You can get on them. Now inside the river's current is really, really fast and it can wash you away. You have to watch out for running boulders or pebbles that may run into you and knock you off your balance. So be careful as you cross the river and try to get to the other side. And by the end of the storytelling, they're all excited and ready to go. Equipment needed to play the game is really quite simple. I use 20 gator skin dodgeballs. If you don't know what gator skin dodgeballs are, you can Google it. 5 gym mats that I use as logs, and then just the gym lines. Here's a quick look how I set up the gym before we start the activity. As I said, I have the students line up on one end line, and I'll position myself somewhere in the middle. Taking a look at some of the game rules, if a player crossing the river gets hit by a boulder, they will exit the game and become a thrower. If a boulder makes contact above the waist or on the hand, it doesn't count. If a boulder makes contact with the head of a crosser, the thrower will get a 3-minute sit-out. Hey everyone, if you'd go ahead and just boop that like button right there, it'll help this video go a long way. Thanks. Not everyone is allowed to cross the stream at once. What I'll do is I'll find something that 2 or 3 people might be wearing and call it out for them to go. For example, if you're wearing a yellow shirt, go. Students with yellow shirts will attempt to cross the stream and I will start throwing boulders or rolling boulders at them. A few things about the logs. You can only stay on the logs up to 10 seconds. And if you step off a log, you are committed to going to another log. You may not return to the same log. Students that had a boulder make contact with them will leave the floor and become throwers. And then we'll call the next group of people to go. Here's a look at some of the things that I say. I always start with if. You're wearing this colored shirt, go. Or if you love pizza, go. If your hair's longer than your shoulders, go. Be creative. Just take a look and see what they're wearing. Maybe it's a brand of shoe. Maybe it's a birth month. Maybe it's their name rhymes with. Something like that. Get creative. A few rules to remember about the game. Always give students the option to be throwers or rollers. They don't necessarily have to be people crossing the stream at first. A lot of times I'll have 2 or 3 that may start as throwers. And then when we start the next round, they always want to be people crossing the stream. Always start a new round when it gets down to just 4 or 5. You try to play down to 1, it gets very difficult and they usually get belted with about 8 or 9 balls. A thrower may not have more than 2 balls at a time. A lot of times the thrower will try to pick up 4 or 5 balls and not share them with other people, and we don't want that. We have to make sure everybody gets an opportunity. And runners will cross the stream from both directions if what I say applies to them. If you're wearing a black shirt, go! If you were born in December, go. December. Man, we got a lot of December babies. You're wearing a jacket, go. We really had a blast playing Cross the Stream. If you're looking for another great throwing game, be sure to check this one out right here. Here's another great game that YouTube says you're going to love. Have a great one.